Go
I think
Manuel.
we're live. Yeah, I think we're live now. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our weekly lectures with Were. We excuse me, with Were. Sir, I don't know how it is ng work was last time I wasn't able to properly introduce you. It's
World
World
English Review.
English again.
There.
World English Review, huh? World English Reviews. All right. So I last time I apologized for introducing the wrong name. Our speaker for today is Mr. LJ De Jesus, and welcome everybody.
I haven't been called that name for a long time. LJ. Last time somebody called me, that was in Ateneo back in college. They just call me Lee now.
All right. Okay.
Tito
Okay.
Lee. When I get older, Lolo Lee.
Lola Lee.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So how many people do we have here right now? We have 29. Okay. So shall we begin, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave the floor to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome po. Let me share my screen. Here we go. And screen natin. There. What should I show you? Okay, can you see my PowerPoint? Kita naman.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. For a moment, let's close this one. Okay, so good evening to all of you. We have 29 attendees here in the room, and then online, the admins will give me an update. Wala, curious lang. Sasabihin niyo ako.
I'll update you, sir. Don't worry. Via chat.
Yeah, and welcome to tonight's very quick lecture. Nobody wants this to be long. Okay, I don't want to teach for 2 hours because I haven't had dinner yet. But still, I'm gonna give you my best. All right, as always, naman po. Okay, so the rules of conduct for this webinar. If you have questions, type them in the chat box or the comment box. Don't hesitate to ask. Okay, please ask questions. It's free. Your host, that's me, is an expert on the subject. Yeah, I think I deserve to. I think qualified naman ako to say that. Okay. I'm just a little bit icky about it because so many people are claiming to be experts. Alam niyo naman. So I'm not very comfortable about it. Pero sige, I'm just gonna call myself that. Okay, so please ask questions anytime. You don't need to wait until the end of the webinar to ask. Okay lang, magtanong agad kayo. Mas maganda nga yun. Okay, as long as it's relevant and it's pertinent to the topic, then I'll answer it as soon as I can, as early as I can. Kung meron kayong requests, if there are problems, you can also send me a message or for those who are on Facebook. Okay, lagay kayo dun sa comments and the admins will relay your messages to me. Or mas maganda, join us in the Zoom room para mas madali, di ba? That's easier. So, ask away while it's free. Okay. Number 2, information about our review programs will be given at the end of the session because usually people ask in the middle of the webinar, how much is the review? When can we enroll? Okay. I'll do that at the end. Okay. So anyway, let's move on. So I'm going to introduce myself very quickly. I think I'm thinner there. Okay, so my name is Lee J. De Jesus. Lee, that's fine. Just call me Lee. That's what I prefer. I started teaching in 2005, started with Ielts, and then I expanded my repertoire. And now I teach Ielts, of course. I also teach OET. It's actually my favorite. It's my favorite subject. Okay, I teach general English subjects. I also teach civil service exam preparation because I've taken the test also. I passed it on the first try. I do some part-time work for the BPO industry. So I've done call center language training for new hirees. Okay. I have a teaching qualification from It's called Cambridge CELTA. It's a certificate in English language teaching to adults. Okay? It's the most prestigious, widely recognized, and very expensive TESOL course in the whole world, and very challenging. Okay, and I'm the first Filipino international webinar presenter for the Canadian English test. You're gonna start hearing more of these tests by next year, sigurado, because Canada is strengthening and is pushing to, to have their own tests. Imbis na IELTS, ito yung pinupush nila because CAEL, Canadian Academic English Language Test, and CELPIP, the Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program, these are Canadian products, hindi sila UK. Okay? So yeah, they're trying to push it. And it's actually accepted. CAEL is the alternative to IELTS academic. And CELPIP is the alternative now if you're going to Canada to IELTS general training. Yeah. Kung gusto niyo mag-request ng webinar about these two topics, just tell your admins. Okay? So what else do you need to know? I'm not blonde. I don't have a British accent, but I still achieve a band 9 in speaking. So if I, with my scratchy voice and all, kung nagawa ko yan, syempre, kaya nyo rin. Di ba? I don't even sound like a call center agent. Di man wala mang ganun eh. Okay? Pero kaya pa rin, as long as you prepare properly, as long as you know what you're doing and you're getting advice from qualified people, kaya naman yan. Lalo na kung 7 lang yung target niyo. Okay, Deadpool. Sir, saan ba? Wait, I'm just gonna co-host one of our... Okay, here you go. Sir, there's no co-hosting option. It's just make host. Wala siyang co-host. So anyway. Don't worry, I'll take care of admitting them. No problem. Sanay na. Okay? I've taken the IELTS officially ilang beses na, 4 times. Okay, and I achieved the band score 9 already overall. My first test was in 2006. Hindi ko naman siya na 9 during that time. What did I get there? 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5. If I remember correctly, either I got 8 or 8.5. First time I tried it, and then it just got higher, and then yung last 2 tries ko, naka-9 na po ako. Okay? And I'm also civil service eligible, professional level. I know that most of you are nurses, so automatic you're qualified for civil service. So I had to do it the easy way. I didn't need to take a board exam. Nag-take lang ako ng civil service. So ayan po, just in case I want to change careers, baka pwede akong mag-government. Baka. So anyway, that's me. But I'm not the focus of today's webinar. The focus is your skills, and how to improve your score for reading. So focus na tayo doon, right? So here you go. The title of tonight's presentation is How I Got a Band 9 in Reading. Okay. So let me give you 9 tips how I got Band 9 in reading. So number 1 po. Okay, you want to get not necessarily a 9, but a pretty good score in any test. Hindi lang po yung IELTS, any standardized test, even in university exams. Then, as much as possible, you need to know the format. Dapat alam niyo kung ano yung ma-encounter ninyo. Otherwise, mangangapa kayo, you're gonna get confused. Okay? So first, you need to study the format. And what is the format, the general format of the reading test? Okay, so for those who are new, okay, the reading test is the second test. The first one is listening. So if you're taking the regular test, the paper-based test on a Saturday, okay, you need to be there by 8. And then they will shut the doors at 9. You cannot be late, okay? And then there will be a 10 to 15-minute orientation. And then you'll have the listening test. So mga bandang alas 9 yun. And then at around 10, okay, the reading test will start. And then after reading, bandang 11, yung writing na. So let's focus on reading. So the reading test is 60 minutes. There's no extra time for you to transfer answers or to finalize answers. Okay? So kailangan po your answers should be there. If you're taking the computer delivered test, they should be typed there. on the screen. And if you're taking the paper-based test, they should be there on the answer sheet. Pero tandaan nyo, 60 minutes lang yan. Now, why is this important? Because the listening test, yung paper-based has an extra 10 minutes. And sometimes, when people don't review intensively enough, they get confused. Nako-confuse sila. Akala nila they have 10 minutes for reading. And, it affects their score. I actually know two students who got a band 0 because they weren't able to write their answers on the answer sheet. All right? So guys, you don't want that to happen. Make sure that you write your answers directly on the answer sheet, or if you're taking the computer delivery test, on the proper space on the screen. All right? Libin, listening from India. Yes, good evening to you, sir. Okay, the test is divided into 3 sections. Now, when they say 3 sections, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will get 3 topics, or that you will necessarily get like 3 reading passages. Okay, that only happens for the academic test, but for the GT, I think for the general training test, you actually have like 5 topics or 5 reading passages, but it's divided into 3 sections. Now, what's the difference between academic and GT? Well, the materials that they use for the general training reading test, they're from stuff that you encounter every day, daily life, in school, maybe at work. Okay, so they're not going to be that complex. They will use simpler language. Okay, and oftentimes the texts are shorter. I'm going to show you an example later. Okay, now for the academic test, these are readings that you'd encounter in university, probably from journals. Okay, probably from first year or second year textbooks. Nothing too specialized though. Nothing na pang masters, no, or PhD, no. Just something you encounter in your bachelor study. Okay, first year, second year. So anyway, 3 sections. So 60 minutes divided by 3 sections. That means you should be spending around 20 minutes per section. That makes sense, right? Okay. Next thing to remember, how long are these reading tests? They're around 2,200 to 2,800 words. Okay, I know that sounds big. So probably like 10, 11, 12 pages of text. That's how long it is. You won't get a reading test with only like 6 or 7 pages. No, it's probably gonna be more or less 10 pages. So it's not short. That's why you need to increase your reading speed. Okay, how many items will be given? There will be 40 items in total. And how many do you need to get your target score? Well, it depends. because because the conversion for GT, general training, and academic, they're different. Okay, so maybe we can probably share the conversion table on the IFNG page, so that everyone can access a copy. So post po ng admins mamaya, they will post it on the page so that you can use the table when you're checking your scores. All right, but here's an example. Okay, if you're targeting band 7 for academic, it's enough to get 30 points. Okay, 30 points academic test, that's a band 7. Yes, congratulations. Usually that's the highest that they require, diba? However, if you need a band 7 for general training, it's actually 34 points. See the difference? There's a difference of 4 points. Academic, 30 points, band 7. general training, 34 points for a band 7. It's a good thing that they usually don't require band 7 for GT. Okay? Because most people who take the general training test, they're applying as immigrants, immigrant visa for Canada. Or most of the time, they apply for skilled work in Australia, New Zealand, also in Canada. For example, mga butchers, mga linemen, construction workers. Okay? So kung band 5 lang yan, That's only 23 points. GT, 23 points. That's a band 5 already. Okay, so magkaiba, no? Some people say that the that the academic test is more difficult. Yeah, in terms of the text that they use, but when it comes to the conversion, okay, it's actually balanced, right? So first, study the format. Okay, 40 items in total. Next, I already mentioned this. Okay, there are different tests for academic and general training. Also, okay, there's a little bit of difference. Well, there are some differences between the paper-based reading test and the computer-delivered reading test. So I think it's better if I show samples of all of these. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the paper-based test. Okay, and unahin po natin yung general training. So this is a sample, the GT test. There you go. I hope you can see it. Guys, if you're using your phone and the screen is too small, you can actually zoom in, no? For those using phones and tablets, touchscreen naman yan. You can just pinch your screen if you want to take a closer look. For those using laptops and desktops, there are some controls at the top of the page. Okay, it says zoom. You click on that and you can zoom in if you cannot see it. All right. So this is a general training test. What's the title of this first one? Interesting day courses in your area. Let's read the headings. A, photographing wildlife. B, drawing for fun. Oh, I like that. C, find your voice. Oh, singing lessons. Pwede. Okay. D, focus on landscape. So probably some sort of painting or drawing course. E, taking happy pictures. That's photography. And F, the music takeaway. So it's some sort of music course. Hey, but this is something that you'll probably see on a brochure. Maybe if you want to choose like summer classes for your kids or kayo mismo, no, you want to take a short course. Okay, so this is an example of a GT test, but that's just the first page. Let's take a look at all the pages. Okay, what are these questions? Look at the 6 advertisements, A to F above. For which course are the following statements? So you're just gonna match number 1 to the proper course, number 2 to the proper course. Oh, that's easy. Keywords lang yan. And then the second text, learn how to skydive. Oh, a skydiving course. Nice. That's expensive. And then the test here is everyone's favorite. True, false, not given. Many people have a hard time with this one, and I prepared some samples for you later. So kung may time tayo, we're gonna do a drill together very quickly. Okay, true, false, not given. I'm 99% sure this will come out in your test. This is one of the most common tests. Is it possible that it won't appear in the test? May possibility naman, but it's very small. Okay, if I were you, this is one of those sub-tests that I would focus on. Okay. Oh, section 2, mistakes when applying for a job. So you can probably find this from, I don't know, a job-seeking magazine or maybe from a web page. Okay. So ano yan eh, that's the thing about these general training tests. They get articles from your everyday, things you would encounter in your everyday life. This is very interesting. If you're looking for a job, you should read this. Mistakes when applying for a job, mistakes in your resume, mistakes in the interview, ano pa nakikita ko? Mistakes in preparation. Okay. Next. HNS, Health and Safety Certificate for the Construction Industry. Okay. Ang maganda sa GT, what's nice about these GT tests, they usually have headings. So looking for the answer is not that difficult because most of the time you just take a look at the headings. So you don't need to read everything talaga. Okay, remember, reading everything for the IELTS reading test is a waste of time. You're not there to read leisurely. You're there to look for answers. So hindi uso yung reading line by line, word for word, sentence by sentence. You need to learn how to read fast. I know you've heard all about scanning and skimming, but I don't want to use that language. Okay, maybe I want to use language that's more relatable. So it just means, you know, you need to learn how to read very fast and locate information instead of reading slowly and reading everything. It's a waste of time. Oh, by the way, I want to focus a little bit on this one. Take a look at this set of instructions. Sabi niya, choose one word only and or a number from the text for each answer. One thing you need to remember, they're very strict about these instructions. If you don't follow them, okay? For instance, if they want you to write T, true, false, not given, T lang daw, write T, and then you write true, mali na yun. Even though technically it's correct because you didn't follow the instructions. Okay? If they want you to write NG and you wrote not given, patay na. Okay, just like this one. It says choose one word only and or number. It means that your answer should be one word only, hindi pwedeng two words. Or it should be one number only, not two numbers, just one number. Pero tanong, here's a question for you. Take a look at the screen. If I write this, 24 cars. Okay, take a look at the bottom of your screen. I wrote 24 cars. Okay, will this be accepted? Does it follow the instructions? Palagay nyo. Tell me in the chat box. Yes, no. I'm waiting for a maybe. So will this be accepted according to the instructions? You know what? This is actually acceptable. Okay? Why? Because you have 24, that's a number and a word, cars. One word, cars, and a number. And means plus, diba? So you're actually following the instructions. Pwede yun. Here's another one. What if I wrote 24 cars? Is this acceptable according to the instructions? Pwede ba yan? No, no, yes, no. It's actually acceptable. Why? Because 24 is a number. Okay? However, it doesn't make sense to write it using the words. Okay, but you know, if you want to be technical for discussion's sake, okay, this one is accepted because 24, it's a number. Cars, that's a word. So it's still one word plus a number. Pwede po yan. In fact, even if you write 1,200,656 cars, that's still acceptable. Well, if it's the correct answer. Bakit? That's still a number plus one word. Okay? So the finer details. Anyway, let me erase that. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at the next page. Remember, this is still a GT test, okay? General training pa rin tayo. Let's continue. Oh, this is section 3 already. So what do you need to know about section 3? Section 3, ka-level yan ng academic. So the third section in the general training test for reading is actually the same level as an academic test. Okay? So you can see that in comparison to the previous texts. Mas mahaba, oh. We have thicker texts here. It's much longer. It's actually 2 pages compared to the previous ones. I know this is only 1 page, but there's a lot of space. And then the previous pages. Okay, look, this is like what? Like just 60% of the page. Pero itong section 3, it's quite long. All right? And the test here is, another favorite. Okay, matching paragraph heading. So you need to choose the correct heading, or maybe you can think of it as a title, maybe, or a summary statement, okay, for each section, sections A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, clock dancing. Now, okay, and this one is a summary completion. Again, then fill in the blanks. Now, what you need to know about the reading test is, even if you're not an expert on the subject, you don't need to worry. Because some people will worry about it. Oh man, I don't know anything about this. I get a good score. Remember that they will never ask you, okay, to give an answer from your own head, no, from your own knowledge in people. All of the answers for reading and also actually for listening will be provided. Okay, so listening, they will say the answers. That's why you need to listen lang. Okay, for reading, the answers will be there on the reading passage. Okay? Otherwise, if they want you to provide your own answers, then it's not gonna be a reading test. It's gonna be a writing test or a speaking test. Na listening and reading, these are input skills. Writing and speaking, these are output skills. So don't worry if you don't know anything about cloud dancing because all the information will be there. In fact, you don't even need to understand the whole thing. You just need to find the answers, diba? Okay? So this is a general training test. Okay, and let's take a look now at an academic test. Oh, so what's the difference? Do you notice anything? From the beginning, the texts are already quite long. Ito, crop growing. Let's go back to the GT test. Compare it to this. Okay, page 1 of the GT test. Interesting day courses in your area. Okay, text is not too long. There's a lot of space there. But for academic, boom, smaller font. Okay, and I think it's more than one page, right? Oh yeah, there you go. So it's what? Usually 7 to 8 paragraphs. Okay. So this is about indoor farming. You have fill in the blanks. You have true, false, not given. Okay, let me teach you a trick. Okay, so that you can save time during the test. Okay, if you're using the official practice tests kasi from Cambridge, okay, they're gonna be, the same as the actual test. Ang kailangan nyo lang tingnan, the words that are in bold letters. Okay? Sabi dito, no more than 2 words. There you go. You don't need to read the whole thing. Reading all of the instructions, that's a waste of time. Okay? Pag sanay ka na, you can just look for the emboldened letters. Okay? Oh, dito, true, false, not given. Ayan, that's what you answer. Okay? So let's take a further look. Oh, reading passage to the Falkirk Whale, a unique engineering achievement. Again, we're not engineers. Well, not all of us are engineers. Not all of us are interested in this. The good news is the answer will be there. You just need to find it. It's just a reading test. So even if you don't know what that is, even if you've just encountered this for the first time. Okay, again, no? True, false, not given na naman. Very common test. Okay, diagram labeling. Usually for diagram labeling, you can find the answers in just one paragraph, sometimes two, but most of the time they're just contained in one paragraph. So don't worry too much about it because the answers will be very close together. Okay. Reading passage 3, also reducing the effects of climate change. And again, it's a long text. You have matching the paragraphs. Which paragraph contains the following information for questions 27 to 29? So let nyo lang, naka-bold, A to H. So don't need to read the whole thing. And then this one, it says one word only, geoengineering projects. Okay. And 37 to 40, that's easy. This is probably one of the easier tests. Okay. Matching the name of a person with what they discovered or their statements or their achievements. Okay, pretty easy. So you just seen 2 examples of paper-based tests. One is GT and one is academic. Okay, good evening, Marie. Okay, hi, I'm from India. Yes, good evening. Annyeonghaseyo. Oh wait, that's Korean. Now I'm gonna show you a sample of computerized test, computer delivered. Where is it? Where did I put it? Where's my browser? Okay. Wait lang po. Okay. Let me just open the proper Proper browser. Not that one. Ah, here you go. Okay. So let me share my screen with you once more. So this is an example of a computer delivered test. Okay, so what you need to know is the text is on the left, and then the questions and the answering space, it's on the right. All right, and also, okay, you have a guide here at the bottom. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is until 41 because it's a practice test, but in the actual test, it's only gonna be 40. Okay, and there's usually, and then there's a timer there at the top to tell you how much time's remaining. Okay, now what I don't like about the computer delivered test is it's harder to highlight. Okay, because if you're taking the paper-based test, you can easily use your pencil to underline and circle to give yourself reminders. Okay, but for this computer delivered test, okay, you can still highlight. However, you need to choose the words that you wish to highlight. Okay, for example, the 58%. Then you need to left click and then click highlight there. So it takes more work. You can even make notes. However, magno-notes ka pa, that's that's a waste of time. Okay. So there, that's the that makes it a little bit more complex. Okay. So it says here questions 1 to 4. Okay. The good thing is you can either just click on these or you can use these tabs at the bottom and to go to a specific number. Okay. Yeah. So 1 to 4. Let's go through the numbers. There we go. And then next set, ganun pa rin. The text is on the left. Questions and answer space on the right. Usually you just need to. Ooh. Let me just mute all of you. There you go. So that you can sing while you're listening. It happens. Next, here we go. Now, just in case the text is too long, okay, there's a scroll bar will appear dito. Ayan. Okay, so remember to scroll po. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So ayan po. So I've shown you a sample. Okay. Let's go to all of them. So if we have time, I'm gonna try to answer some of these questions with you later. Okay. Para sulit yung oras natin. So let's continue. So guys, I've just shown you samples of the paper-based test and the computer-delivered test, academic and general training. So let's go back to my presentation. There you go. Okay. So the first secret is I studied the format. Okay. There, so we're done with all of this. Number 2, okay. The second thing that I did, okay, is I timed my practice. I know that some of you, for a fact, I know this because I've been teaching Ielts and different tests, okay, yeah, it's been more than 16 years because I think I started, I think it was in October 2005. I feel old now. Okay, so I've been teaching more than 16 years. I know for a fact that some people don't time themselves, which is quite weird. Guys, if you want to do well on a test, you have to follow the time limits, right? Because even if you get a perfect score, like if you get 40 out of 40, okay, but it took you like 75 minutes or 90 minutes to do it, then don't expect to get a perfect score during the test. It's not gonna happen. Okay? So in anything that you do, it doesn't matter if it's an English test, if it's a sport, okay, or if it's cooking, okay. When you practice, you follow the actual time limits that you will encounter during the actual tasks. Ba? Does that make sense? So please always time yourself because I sometimes I ask people, okay, ma'am, very good, you got 38 points, okay, but how much time did it take you? I sir, I'm sorry, sir. I just did the drill, sir. I forgot to time myself. Guys, there's no excuse nowadays because I think everyone has a phone now, right? I mean, you can buy a cheap phone and it's still quite nice. I mean, this phone, okay, how much is this? I think I got it for 11K, but it's the nicest phone I've ever had. I'm quite happy with it. It's as good as an iPhone, in my opinion. As good as a Samsung Note, in my opinion. Okay? So guys, gamitin nyo naman yung technology. Use your nice phones. Use your timers. Okay? Because that's how you will pass, by being very strict and demanding and by employing the highest standards. Diba? Pipigil ko yung sarili ko. Okay. Okay. I was about to say something political. No. Next secret. What did I do? Okay. I chose the best time to practice. I think I discussed this earlier with my morning class. Okay. So, for my students in the room, don't answer. Okay, those students who joined me earlier this morning, don't answer. I'm gonna ask the other people now. What do you think is the best time to practice your reading drills? And actually, even your speaking, your listening, and your writing. Is it best to do it in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening? Please type your answer in the chat box. Morning, afternoon, evening. Madaling araw, midnight. What do you think is the best time? Okay, we're receiving some answers. Some are saying morning, 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 morning. Okay. Everybody's a morning person. One of you answered evening. Okay. Morning for me, evening. Okay. Okay, of course, that's a matter of opinion. Pero, okay, this is just my professional opinion. Di ka nga respect my opinion. Anytime, sir, if we have time, yes. For those people who are busy, okay, uh, for for you who have kids and you're working at the same time, double shift, okay, sige, of course, anytime that you have time. Pero for me, okay, the best time is the same time as the actual test. You get it? For instance, okay, if you're taking the traditional paper-based test, okay, that's usually on a Saturday. It starts at 9, it ends at 12. Then it's best to practice during that time, 9 to 12. Okay? So that your body will get used to it. For example, I'm not a morning person. My brain is really slow during the morning. So maninibago ako if I keep on doing my practice during the evenings and then during the actual test, I take it in the morning, then it will affect my performance. Diba? Oh, for those of you who like boxing, diba? When boxers train, they actually go to that place where they're gonna be fighting ahead of time, mga 5 weeks siguro. Okay? So that they can acclimate to the venue, lalo na if the venue is elevated, high elevation, so that they can get used to the air. Diba? Ganon din sa Ganon din sa test na for me, preparing for a test is no different for preparing for a tournament or a boxing championship. Okay, you do everything including the timing, including the physical preparations po. Now, if you're taking the computer delivered test in the afternoon, because you have that option now, right? You can sign up for a morning session or an afternoon session. So afternoon din kayo mag-test. What time? 1 to 4. Because that's the time you're gonna be taking that test. I hope I'm making sense. If you have if you don't agree, we can talk about it. Actually, we're open to this hindi naman bawal magbigay ng kuro-kuro. If you have opinions, then I'll be happy to discuss it with you. Okay? So anyway, yes, for the busy people, anytime that you have time, but if you have a little bit more freedom, then it's best to practice the same time as the actual test. Okay? So I hope that made sense. Next, number 4. Ito. You should remember, you should know that improving a skill requires repetition. I've been teaching for 16 years and it's so weird. Some people are so weird because they ask me about, sir, can we do a crash course? Kasi a lot of review centers are offering that, 1-day crash course. Naku, 3-day crash course. You know what's gonna happen if you take a crash course? You're gonna get what you're paying for. You're gonna crash. Okay, of course, there are some gifted people who can study for a day and then get a passing score, but not everyone is like that. Okay, by definition, everyone is probably average. Okay? So, ganito na lang yan. How long did it take you to perfect your technique for getting the blood pressure? I know it's easy now because of digital devices, but if you're using the old method, okay, with the sphygmo manometer, okay, how long did that take you? How about drawing blood? Diba? That's part of your work, diba? And or what? Or finding a pulse. Did you learn it in 1 day? Okay, yes, you learned it in 1 day, but was it really good? Did you get, did you become perfect in 1 day? Hindi naman, diba? So, guys, if it took you a long time to learn the skills that you have now, the skills that you're using for work, why are you expecting to learn reading and get a perfect score in 1 day? Okay, ingat kayo sa mga crash courses na ganyan, mga dubious offers. Because it takes repetition to improve something. For those of you who play a sport, okay, my favorite is basketball. Okay, how much time did it take you how to learn the layup or how to do a free throw? Di ba matagal? So it requires repetition. It's not something that you will learn in 1 day, that you listen to this really good speaker who got a perfect score and then you're gonna learn it already. Of course, the knowledge is helpful, but in the end, you're gonna be taking the test, not that other person. So don't be afraid of the grind. Sabi nga, embrace the grind. I think I should type that. Okay? Pwede niyong sulat to sa salamin nyo. You can write this on your mirror so that you see it every morning. Okay? One of my favorite UFC fighters. Well, kinopyan niya lang din to, but he says, embrace the grind. Yeah. For those of you who play online games, alam niyo yan, di ba yung grinding? Okay? So embrace the grind. That's how you improve your skills, by grinding. So embrace the grind. Huwag kayong tatama rin. I don't know why some people expect to do 2 drills and then makaka-perfect na ako. Sometimes I have grind lang ng grind, money. Yan. Manuel, ibang grind ba yan o yung grind na sinasabi ko? Is this another grind? Baka ibang grind yan, ha? Okay. So anyway, baka MMORPG, level up. Okay, level up. Grind sa game, hindi yung basta. Na-distract tuloy ako. Where was I? Okay, so embrace the grind. I have some, we call them cuties. I have some students. Okay, I have some students who are so frustrated, who are so demanding of themselves. Sabi, sir, please help me, sir, because my score is not improving, sir. My first drill, it was a 6. Then I'm just getting a 6. Tapos, then, tatanungin ko sila. And then I asked them, how many drills have you done? Sir, I've done 3. 3. Puno pa. Dapat 3. So, 4 na lang. Sir, I've done 4 or 5. Okay. Guys, if you've only done 2 or 3 drills or 4 drills or 5 drills, okay, don't be too demanding of yourselves. Don't be too frustrated. Why? Because, ganito lang. You do 10 first. Okay? After you've done 10 drills and, if there's no improvement, then you complain. Then you feel depressed. Pero you do 10 drills first properly. Okay? And guys, your score doesn't need to improve every time. Okay? First drill mo, you got 24 points. Next drill, 26. And then you get 24 again, and then 28. And then 27, then 30, then 29, 30, 29, 30, 32, 30, 33, 32, 34. You know, as long as there's a general upward trend, o parang writing task man, no? As long as there's a general increase, then you're doing well. Okay? If you just drop like, what, 1 or 2 points, okay lang yan. Gawin mo na lang sa next. But what's important is repetition. Do as many as you can. Okay? Huwag ka muna mag-complain. If you've done less than 10, don't lose heart. Okay? For me, the minimum is 10. So anyway, so please, that also means that you shouldn't review like just 1 week before your test. My God. Okay, maybe you should review like 3 months. I teach a lot of Koreans now, and some of them they prepare like 6 months for it. Okay, just to make sure that they get a good score. Okay, I've never seen one who just prepared for 1 week. Ibang iba. So anyway, that's number 4. Improving your skills, listening, reading. Oh, Feliza Faye, okay, said in the chat box, it took me 12 reading tests before I got 7. Okay lang yan. At least you got 7. It's better to take 12 reading tests and then get 7 instead of taking 3 tests and getting a 5. Diba? At least ikaw na-achieve mo yung ano. It doesn't matter how many drills it takes you. What matters is you pass the test. Diba? For example, well, I have friends from college, okay, who went to law school, and then they failed the bar the bar exam. Tapos ang lungkot nila. Okay, and then I tell them, dude, just try again. Hindi, dapat first take ganyan. Dude, who cares? Who cares how many times it took you? As long as you pass, diba? Okay? As long as you pass. Okay, mas okay na yung nag-take ka ng 4 times and then pumasa kaysa nag-take ng once tapos sumuko na. Okay, because what matters here is you pass. But of course, to avoid wasting money, it's better if you pass it on the first try. Okay, because it is possible to pass it on the first try. Okay, so let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Oops, let me remove these. How to remove these? There you go. Let's clear that up. So that's number 4. Okay, by the way, in relation to this one, okay, I didn't start with a 9. I remember the very first reading drill that I did, I think I got 23 points academic. So that's what, band 6 or 6.5. Okay, so I got a 9. Well, several times na got a 9 in my test, but I didn't start with a 9. I started at 6 or 6.5. Okay, the first drill that I did, and then my first take in 2006. I think my reading was, it was 8.5. Okay, and then 2012, 9 na siya. 2019, band 9. And then a few months ago, noong July 30 or 31, 9 ulit. Okay, well, because I've been practicing a lot, but I didn't start with a perfect score. It's very rare that someone starts with a perfect score. I'm sure even, the best teachers in the country or in the world, they didn't start with a 9. Okay, because I haven't met anyone who started with a 9. First drill nila 9. Nah, not really. Okay, next. How to make sure that you will include repetition in your preparation. Sinabi ko, it requires repetition, but a lot of people find it challenging. Sir, yes sir, I will do drills pag may time ako, pag may time when I'm not busy. And that's a very negative attitude, because if you say, I'm gonna practice when I find the time, then it's not gonna happen. Diba? Hindi mangyayari yun eh. You don't find the time. You make time. Kayo gumawa ng oras ninyo. So how do you do this? Well, here's the secret. Use your phone. Okay? You already have Google Calendar, probably. You can install your favorite calendar app. The calendar ninyo, you should be making a weekly calendar. One of my students recently sent me a message saying, "Sir, thank you very much. I passed the test." This student was in the Middle East. She's taken the test a couple of times before, but she reviewed with us. She passed it on the first try. And then her classmates ask her, anong ginawa mo, ma? Sabi niya, so I followed Sir Lee's advice. I actually have an Excel file and then I schedule all my activities for the week. If you haven't done it yet, just try it this week. Okay? You should schedule your activities. Kahit ano lang, 15 minutes lang, 30 minutes. Hindi naman kailangan 2 hours, 3 hours every day. No. Just make sure that you do something every day. Okay? Every day of the week, Monday to Sunday, kahit 10 minutes lang. It can be as simple as reading a sample essay, a model essay, or listening to a recording in the background. At least meron kang ginawa. Okay? How long do I practice nowadays? Well, nowadays I don't practice anymore. Because honestly, okay. Last time I took the test noong July, I didn't nag-practice ako, but I practiced the day before because it was the computer delivered test. So I wanted to familiarize myself a little bit. But when I was starting out, I just follow the time limits. So Monday, I just do one reading drill. That's it. Okay, and then the next day, I go back to that reading drill and then I just study my mistakes. Mga 10 to 15 minutes lang yan. And then Wednesday, I do a listening drill. And then the next day, Thursday, I listen to the recording again without looking at the questions. Talagang nakikinig lang ako. And then Friday, if I can get a hold of somebody to practice with, we practice for like 20, 25 minutes. So it doesn't need to be, 1 hour, 2 hours every day. Pwede namang maikli lang. But what's important is consistency of effort. Okay? This is why I don't recommend students to study on the weekends lang because I mean review centers have those packages, diba? Weekday packages, weekend packages. In my experience, students who only come in on Saturday or on a Sunday lang, they usually forget what they learned. They just retain like 30, less than half of it. Okay? So, Saturday yung huling pasok mo and then yung susunod mong pasok, it's a Sunday, you're probably gonna forget more than half of what you learned already. So, you just wasted your effort. To learn something, you have to repeat it. It has to be implanted, okay, more than once in your short-term memory so that it can make the transition to your long-term memory. So, hindi importanteng matagal. Ang kailangan, madalas. There you go. Okay, thank you, Jay and Nell. That's a nice question. Okay. So please, try it this week. This week lang, kahit 1 week lang. Okay? So make it a habit. Every Sunday, you calendar your IELTS related activities for the week. Okay? It might even be it can be an enjoyable thing like, Wednesday, I'm just gonna watch the IFNG recording. Nanonood ka lang. Okay? Sana all pumasa ng IELTS? Yes, of course. Or sana all di na kailangan mag-practice. You'll get to that point. I've been doing it for 16 years. So you're having a hard time with this topic. Chris, hindi lang ikaw. It's not just you. It's mostly the general training candidates who have a difficult time with reading. Most academic candidates, they pass it on the first try. Ang problema nyo usually is what? Writing. Okay? Oh, from I, sir, advice for video call speaking. Yes. Oh, the topic for today is reading. I think I think I did this topic like 2 weeks ago or last week. Okay. So quick advice for video call speaking. Practice with your mask on. Okay? Ano pa? Practice with Zoom. Because I think that's what they're the one that they're using is very similar to it. Okay? Pero mag-practice kayo with the mask. Very helpful. Okay? Next, from Jenver Bagorio, sir, I always run out of time in reading. Yes, and this is one of the things that we're addressing right now. Okay? So tuloy natin. Kaya nga I told you, time practice. Okay? Time practice. Ayan. Oh, unlimited, shameless plug. We have unlimited Zoom practice for speaking. Go. Okay. So, How do you make sure that you have repetition during your preparation? I-calendar nyo. Okay. Secondly, well, if you're using Google Calendars, it will actually send you an alarm automatically. Okay. Pero kung hindi naman, guys, make sure that you set alarms. Because sometimes, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect, definitely. Okay. Um, Sometimes, we need reminders. Yes, it's nice to have discipline. Okay. It's nice to have willpower, pero, human discipline and human willpower, it's underrated. Mas maganda if you use technology. So mag-set kayo ng alarm to remind you. And then pag nag-ring yung alarm nyo, no matter what you're doing, okay, you should stop and practice. No excuses. People who make excuses, they fail. Okay? Huwag tayong mag-rely on excuses. No, if you really want something, you're gonna do something about it. Okay, let's move on to the next tip. I'm gonna teach you how to use reading drills properly. Yes, yes. Some of you have done 12 drills. Some of you have done 20. Some of you have done 2. Some of you have done 3. Okay, but what's more important than the number of drills that you've done is how you use them. So, paano ba yung tamang procedure? You really want to pass it on the first try? You're having a hard time with the timing. You're having a hard time getting the score that you want. But you're having a hard time with your reading speed, you're slow in reading, there's a way to improve it. Okay, here are the steps. First of all, kuha ka ng reading, di ba? Cambridge 10, test 1. Cambridge 11, test 2, whatever. Okay? The first time, of course, you do the drill, di ba? So, you time yourself, you limit yourself to 1 hour, and then you just skim the text. You don't really read it in detail. Okay? All right? So that's the first time that you read the drill. Most people stop here. Okay? Ang susunod na gagawin mo is, okay, after you've done the drill, you take those reading passages again. And then, you check your score, diba? And then you study your wrong answers. You don't need to study your correct answers. You study the wrong answers. If you didn't get it right, aaralin niyo yan. Okay? Why am I saying this? Because I've discovered, well, not this year, a long time ago, I discovered that during this pandemic, since most people are doing self-study, usually people just access the answer key, and then they compare it to their own answer key. Right? Number 1, true. Number 2, not given. And then after checking, I got 31 points. Or, oh man, I only got 24 points. Okay, next drill. Patay. That means you didn't maximize the drill. Guys, okay, drilling is different from studying. If you're just doing the drills and then looking at the answer key to check your answer, then all you did was do the drills, pero hindi ka nag-aral. You didn't study properly. Studying is, okay, check your answers, diba? And then take a look at your wrong answers, and then you study, why did I get this wrong? Why is this the correct answer? Where did they base it on the text? Hanapin nyo, basahin nyo ulit, and then you can read slowly. Because you're not doing the drills anymore, you're studying na. Okay, most people, they stop at doing drills. They don't study. Okay, so I hope that most of our participants right now are realizing what they're doing wrong, because this is a very, very common malpractice. Gawa lang ng gawa ng drills, hindi naman nag-aaral. Please don't do drills. Please study them. Okay, and then, you've read it twice, diba? You still need to read the passages again, but this time, okay, don't read the questions. Just read the passage for what it is. Just imagine it's something that you encountered on a magazine. You're on a flight. Okay, you're on the airplane. Okay, you're going somewhere, and then you have a magazine there, and you're trying to pass the time. Basta you just read it as a text. Don't read it as an exam. Read it as a read it as a published material. Okay, so ideally you should be reading those passages 3 times. First time when you do the drill, second time when you study your right and your wrong answers, and finally the third time you just read it, leisurely. The third time that you read it, that's the time that you learn vocab, that you Google stuff that you don't understand. Okay, that you try to see, oh, what is this topic? What do I know about it? Okay, so that's number 5. In relation to that, number 6, okay, you do this during the third reading. No, if you see something that you don't understand, Google nyo. Kunwari, you don't know anything about clog dancing. I showed you that text earlier, right? Okay, let's revisit it a little bit. Where's that academic test? Sorry, the GT test. Ito. Okay, the third section was about clog dancing. The title is Clog Dancing's Big Street Revival. Now, what you need to know is the Ielts actually repeats drills. Okay, in fact, the last time I took the test last July, I already read about 2 of the 3 reading passages. Nakita ko na. That's why it was easy for me because I've seen them before in previous exams. Nire-recycle lang nila yan. Okay? So the more you do, the bigger your chances of winning. Kumbaga. Also, if you see a topic that you're not familiar with, edi familiarize nyo so that when it comes out, it's gonna be easier for you. Okay? So you don't know anything about clog dancing. What should you do? You should go online and Google it. Google natin. Where's my browser? Okay, here you go. Okay. So Google natin now. Let's take a look at some pictures. Clog dancing. You don't even need to read the articles. Okay, and now let's take a look at some pictures. These are pictures of clog dancing. So what are clogs? Clogs are, they look like wooden shoes. Tama ba? O gawa sa kahoy. Let's take a look at some videos. Okay, clog dancing. Let's look for a nice one. Here, let's play that.
Are you ready, ladies? Here we go.
Parang tap dance. Let's look at something more traditional. How about this one?
Ladies and gentlemen, the girls of the Ielts House Officer are going to dance.
Okay, para hindi sayang yung time natin. Now, you get the point. So, if you encounter this test again in the reading test, it's gonna be easier for you to understand because you've seen pictures of it. You're not just reading text on a screen. You actually have images to go with it. So, ano dapat yun gawin natin multi-sensory experience. Right? So guys, when you reread these texts and you see something that you don't understand, or you don't know what climate change is, edi Google nyo ng konti. It's gonna help you the next time that you encounter a similar text. Your comprehension will be on a much deeper level. Okay, so Google it if you didn't understand it. Next, tip number 7. I focused on my weaknesses. Okay, I focus on my weaknesses. Now, there are several types of subtests. Now, you have matching paragraph headings, you have true, false, not given, you have summary completion, fill in the blanks, labeling a chart or diagram. Okay, And people, of course, they have different strengths and weaknesses. Some of you will be quite bad at matching paragraph headings, but some of you will be very good at it. Okay, same thing with true, false, not given. So what you need to do is, after doing 2 or 3 of these reading drills, okay, you sit back and analyze, what am I good at and what am I weak at? And then you work on your weaknesses. Okay, if you don't do well on the matching paragraph heading text, then you can focus on that. I mean, there are so many apps that you can download now, so many web pages that you can use to focus on these specific types of subtests. Google nyo lang. Okay? If you already do well on one type of test, then you don't need to do it anymore. Because you don't need a 9, right? Well, it's nice if you can get a 9. Pero kailangan nyo ba talaga ng 9? No, most of you only need like 7 or sometimes it's just 6.5. So the best thing to do with your limited time is you just work on your weak areas. There's no point working on your strong areas. I know it sounds obvious. Sir, that's so obvious, alam namin yan. But you know what? I've been teaching for more than 16 years, and I noticed that people tend to work on their strengths kahit hindi na kailangan, even if they don't need it anymore. Why? Because it feels good to them, di ba? It's nice to get, I got 9 again, yes. I got 8.5 again, nice. Pero your 9 or your 8.5 in listening doesn't matter if you only get 6 or 6.5 in reading, di ba? For those of you who are targeting all 7. Because 777 is better than 9996 because 9996 will not allow you to work as a nurse in Australia. It will not allow you to work as a nurse in the UK. Okay, but if you get 777 and then writing 6.5, then you can practice in the United Kingdom. If you get 7777, then you can earn your Australian dollars, highest minimum wage in the world, Australia. Okay, that's better than a 9996. Tama? So guys, focus on your weaknesses. Kung magaling ka na, tigilan mo na. I know it feels good, but you don't need it. Okay? From Carmela Marie, any technique when answering the part the part po ng summarized paragraph, tapos hanapin mo yung keyword na tinatanong from the main passage. Doon po madalas naubos yung oras. Okay, we're gonna try to look at a specific sample of this. Mami, I hope the material I prepared has this one. Okay? Pero in general, Carmela, okay? First of all, you should know what you're looking for. Okay? So before taking a look at the text, you read the questions first. Kapag summary completion, these the answers are usually located in one paragraph lang. Sometimes 2 paragraphs. Most of the time, they're just in one paragraph, somewhere in the middle of the text. So to save time, you must know how to locate it quickly. Once you see the answer to the first number, kasi sunod-sunod na lang yan. Okay, so let's see if I can find something similar to this one. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it. Okay, next. Let's admit some people. Okay. Here's my tip number 8. So this one I didn't do. Okay, so this one is just my advice to you. Guys, you're here tonight. Okay, that means you're seeking help. So congratulations. Okay. But not all help is made equal. Hindi po lahat ng tulong pare-pareho. Just because you sought help, just because you enrolled in a review center or hired a tutor. Ang dami ko nakikita online, by the way. Hi, I can help you. I've been teaching for 3 years. My God. Guys, before you hire any tutor, especially online, you ask, have they taken the test? What results did they get? Can they show you proof? Okay. Do they have an office? Because ang daming fly-by-night eh. Okay, because once you give your money and they don't have a physical office, they can just run. So please, how many years have they been in the industry? Have they taken the test? What results did they get? How many students have they had? Tanong yan. So that you can maximize your money's worth, because nowadays the price for a good teacher and or a bad teacher, they're almost the same. Pareho lang eh. You know, if you have 5,000 pesos, you can you can already hire a bad teacher or a good teacher. So it's better to maximize your money. So anyway, seek competent help. For example, let me tell you this story. So I had a student before the pandemic. Okay. So nagpa one-on-one sa akin and then I asked him, Sir, why did you do this? I think it was writing. Sir, why did you write your introduction like this? I told you not to do this because your introduction is longer than the body paragraph. Why did you write 5 sentences for your intro? It should be like 2 or 3 sentences, right? And then he told me, but sir, my friend, he told me he told me that this is best, okay, to write 5 sentences for you. Okay, sir, um, did your friend take the test? Sir, yes. What score did he get? Sir, 4. Okay. Have I taken the test? Yes, sir. What did I get? Sir, you said in your last test you got 8.5 in in writing. Okay. So you listened to a guy who got band 4 and then you ignored the advice of a professional who got 8.5. I wanted to tell him go home, but I didn't because he paid for that hour. Pero you know how frustrating it feels? How frustrated. I mean, he listened to a band 4. He didn't listen to a band 8.5. So, oh my God, it's like somebody who's arguing and then he says, and then nakita ko sa TikTok eh. Okay? Diba, dude, there are, you can go to the Senate records, you can get Supreme Court records or go to the, you believe someone on TikTok, oh my God, what's happening to the country? So anyway, when you seek help, make sure that the help is competent, okay? That they know what they're doing, right? Because I've encountered people who made mistakes and then I asked them, Ma'am, why are you saying it like that? Sir, because my partner in the speaking practice told me to say it like that. Okay. Nag-test na ba yung partner mo? No, sir. I'm practicing with my daughter, but she's good in English. Okay, congratulations. You have a daughter who's very good in English. She's in high school. Does she know anything about the Ielts test? No? Maybe you need someone who knows what they're doing. You get my point. It's one of my frustrations as a professional. Okay? Sometimes people tell me, sir, yeah, you're so expensive, can you give me a discount? Dude, you're not paying for the 1 hour that I'm teaching you. You're paying for my 16 years and for my band 9. Okay? So yeah, for those of you who are wondering, I'm a little bit expensive, but it's gonna be worth it. So, I prepared some sayings here. Okay, seek competent help, di ba? Okay. I think you've heard this one. No man is an island. Okay, Sir Manuel, can you unmute? Sir Manny, are you you online?
Yeah, sir, I'm here.
Okay. From Maristela Katibak. Basahin ko lang itong yung comment ni Maristela. She says, like my mom, she's a seasoned English teacher, but she admits she's never familiar about the IELTS format. So instead, tama to, she can help me with the grammar. Okay, but for the IELTS specific skills, maybe seek professional help. Ganyan lang yan, di ba? You have an illness, go to a doctor. Don't go to your kapitbahay. Okay, even though she survived the disease before, she survived dengue, doesn't mean she's qualified to help you. Totally. Okay. So, Sir Manny, help me out because your voice is nicer than mine.
So, all right. So, okay, how can I help you, sir? Anything? Do I need to show my face?
Yes. No need to show your face.
All right.
I just need you to read the quotations I prepared. Okay. These are related to seek competent help. No. Here's the first saying. It's already on screen. Can you read that?
No man is an island.
Yes. So we need other people to help us succeed. Okay. Second.
Man is a social creature.
Dapat capital yung M. Sorry about that. Minadali ko yan. So,
don't worry, sir. Don't worry.
Okay. We live in a society. Okay? We cannot, people who live alone, mga hermits, mga ermitanyo, they're usually crazy, right? Third.
United we stand, divided we fall.
So you're very lucky that you have IFNG, these free groups who started out as, individuals who wanted to help others to pass the test also, because it's easier to pass the test when you have a support group. So united, you stand with, with your team, but divided, if you do it alone, you're probably gonna fall. And here's my favorite saying.
Parang haba, pero okay, I'll try.
Yeah.
One thing is a weak toothpick. Many things is an unbreakable walis.
So I didn't know how to translate. So I just made this up. Yung walis thing, if you only have one strand, crook, easy to break. Okay, but put together many strands and it's gonna be unbreakable. So papatawa lang ako. Pero this is a Filipino saying. Sorry for the Indians there. Okay, this is a Filipino thing. Okay, thank you, sir, for the voice, for lending me your voice. And finally, this one.
Anytime, sir. Oh, one more? All right. You are the average of the 5 people closest to you.
Okay. So I don't totally agree with this one all the time. Pero it has truth to it. You can Google this one, by the way. You type it in Google and articles will appear about it. Sabi nila, you are the average of the 5 people closest to you. So take a look at your family and your friends. The 5 or 6 or 7 people closest to you. Okay. We can apply this to the Ielts test. So are you surrounded by people who chronically have no money, who have bad habits? Or are you surrounded by successful, intelligent, wealthy, knowledgeable people? Sabi nga nila, di ba? Tell me who you are and I will tell you. Tell me who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. Same thing with the Ielts test. The people that you're practicing with, are they achievers? Or are they just pretending to be achievers? Yes, it's good to practice with other people, pero guys, always seek people who are better than you because that's how you learn. It might feel good if you practice with people who are on a lower level kasi you get elevated, pero you don't learn that way. Okay, so take a look at the 5 people who are preparing, who are helping you to prepare for the Ielts. At what level are they? Get the average, that's probably gonna be you. Okay? And number 9, syempre, nakatakip. What's that? Okay, number 9 says, let's practice. So, itong mga tanong ninyo, sabi dito, sir, in true false not given, what will be the answer if 3 details are given in the passage, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm just gonna show you a sample test, okay? So I showed you the computer delivered test earlier, okay, here. Okay, to our friends from India, walis is a broom. Okay, just read it. So let me just refresh this page. So I have a sample test here. Let's work through it. I think we have enough time naman to work on some of them. Okay, let's start the test. So do you want to do this or do you want me to skip? So 1 to 4. Ano to? This is a multiple choice. Usually one of the more complicated tests. Guys, just tell me in the chat box, do it or skip it. Type nyo lang, do it or skip it. Multiple choice. Okay, I guess we can do it because you're already doing it. Sige. So I'm gonna give you time to look at the text and look at the questions. Guys, read the questions first before you read the text, or maybe I can guide you. Sige. Sabi dito, in paragraph 1, maybe we can zoom in. It's a bit small. Yeah. Okay. More. Okay. Is this readable? Okay na? Or do you want me to zoom in more? Guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, yes naman. Okay, clear from your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, it's clear.
Okay. It says in paragraph 1, the writer suggests that the companies could consider, okay, choice A,
abolishing pay schemes that are based on age. Next, avoiding pay that is based on piece rates. Piece rates. And letter C, di kasi nilabelan, increasing pay for older workers. And letter D, equipping older workers with new skills. Okay, so please take a look at paragraph 1. I'm gonna give you a minute. Yeah, tell me your answer. Okay, any guesses for number 1? You can just type A, B, C, or D, even though it's not labeled. Okay, most of you are saying that letter A is the correct answer. All right. Some are answering D, some C's, all right. Okay, so what we're looking for is the suggestion of the writer. Okay, and that's important because they might include things that are not suggested by the writer. So let's take a look at letter D. Ano ba itong D? It says, equipping older workers with new skills. Where did you base that? Maybe from the last sentence it says, retaining the services of older workers may mean employing them in different ways. But is this a suggestion from the writer? He's just explaining what's gonna happen. What's the suggestion? I think the correct answer to this one is, okay, here's the basis. You base it from here. So take away seniority-based pay scales and older workers may become a much more attractive employment proposition. Okay, that's the suggestion. Why? Because he's actually very direct about it. He says, take away. He's actually commanding na nga. It sounds like a command already. Okay, so correct answer will be the first one, abolishing pay schemes that are based on age. What's the reason? Because if you take away these seniority-based pay scales, they might become, more attractive proposition. Now, how do I know that this is probably a very good choice? It's because of the paraphrasing. One of the secrets to getting a good score in the reading test, not only for reading, actually, even for listening, speaking, writing, is paraphrasing. I know that this is probably correct. Why? Because he abolishing was paraphrased. No? Abolishing, take away. Based on age, okay, seniority based, okay, and then pay schemes, pay scales. Ayun po, most of it is paraphrased, okay? And this is one of the things that you can do just to double check, parang math lang, just to double check if your answer is correct. Is there paraphrasing involved? Okay, if they use exactly the same words, it's probably gonna be wrong. Okay, this one's easy. Most of you are requesting multiple choice. What else was requested earlier? So yeah, let's look for those texts. Okay, how about Nope. Nope. How about true, false, not given? Here you go. So, I think somebody requested this earlier. No? Choose true if the statement agrees with the information given in the text. Choose false if the statement contradicts the information. And choose not given if there's no information on this one. On the paper-based test, you'll need to write true, false, not given. But for computer delivered, obviously, you just click on it. Okay? So let's take a look at number 9. I think I need to zoom out so that you can see the whole text. Okay. Number 9, Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Marie's Nobel Prizes. So what's your answer? Is it true, false, or not given? Number 10, Marie became interested in science when she was a child. So is it true, false, not given? And then number 11, Marie was able to attend the Sorbonne because of her sister's financial contribution. For 9, 10, 11, ano lang yan, true, false, not given. So now that you know what you're looking for, you can read the text on the left side, and I'll give you 2 minutes to do this one. Okay, sige po, you have 2 minutes, then we're gonna discuss it. Okay, see you in 2 minutes. Some of you are still reading. Let's extend it to 2.5 minutes. All right. So number 9, Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Marie's Nobel Prizes. Okay, number 9, the answer is, very good. Some of you got it. Okay, that's false. Why is it false? Because, okay, it says here, with her husband, Pierre Curie and Henry Becquerel, she was awarded the 1903 Nobel Prize for Physics. Okay, that's for 1903, but she was the sole winner of the 1911 Nobel Prize for Chemistry. Pag sinabing sole, it means she was the only one. Okay, it's the opposite of joint. So the answer is False. Now, a lot of people get confused between false and not given. Okay, which is understandable, but ganito lang yan, no? You can only answer false if you have proof from the text. If you say false, you should be able to pinpoint or point out the paragraph, the sentence, and the words used to contradict the statement. Okay, now, if nothing is mentioned, okay, or maybe the information is not enough, so if your answer can either be yes or no, then the correct answer is not given. Okay, because you need specific proof. Kailangan po may prueba. You cannot base it on your feelings, or you cannot say, tell the Ielts, respect my opinion. No, where's your proof? It needs to be based on facts, okay, not on opinions. So, number 9, okay, that's false. Number 10, Marie became interested in science when she was a child. I think something was mentioned about her childhood, right? Second paragraph, it says here, from childhood, Marie was remarkable for her prodigious. It means what? Big. Okay, it means huge, great. Okay, what? High level. Okay. And at the age of 16, won a gold medal on completion of her secondary education. Okay, so nice. Okay, since she was little, she had a very good memory. However, can we base anything from that? Marie became interested in science when she was a child. Just because you have a good memory doesn't mean that you're interested in science, right? You might be interested in other topics. So what's the answer? What's the answer to this one? Okay, it's not given because it can be yes or no. Diba? We don't have enough information. So, not given. How about number 11? Marie was able to attend the Sorbonne because of her sister's financial contribution. Again, this is, I think, in paragraph 2 here. It says, from her earnings, she was able to finance her sister Bronia's medical studies in Paris, on the understanding that Bronia would in turn later help her get an education. So it's not there. Let's take a look at the next sentence. Ayun. In 1891, this promise was fulfilled, and Marie went to Paris and began to study at the Sorbonne, or the University of Paris. So yes, the sister, Bronia, helped Marie attend the university. Okay? So, false, not given, and true. If you have questions, please feel free to ask anytime. Or if you have suggestions, all right? May time pa. Okay, let's take a look at other subtests here. What's this? Complete the notes, write one word from the text and each cup. Don't worry, we're not gonna do everything, okay? But I'm gonna give you tips for each one. Okay, some tips for sentence completion or note completion. Okay, there are 2 things that you need to remember. The long strategies. First of all, okay, once you choose an answer, once you write down your answer, read the whole sentence. Because I know a lot of students who make mistakes because they just focus on the blank. They don't focus on the sentence. Why do you need to focus on the sentence? Because there are 2 things to check. First, is your sentence grammatical? Okay. If the sentence form is not grammatical, your answer is probably wrong. It has to be grammatically correct. Secondly, okay, is it reasonable? Does it make sense? Okay, if you only focus on the blank, then you will not know if the whole sentence makes sense. So, basahin yung buong sentence. So, for instance, the first one. When uranium was discovered to be radioactive, Marie Curie found the element called blank had the same property. So, how do we guess this one? We're looking for a noun. It's an object. Okay, one word nga lang eh. Okay, and it has to be the name of an element. So, if you know that, you don't even need to read it very carefully. You can just skim it very quickly. And then when you see the name of an element, you put it there. Okay, uranium was already mentioned, di ba? So, What do I see here? First, since this is the first question, the answer is probably in the first paragraph. So I see it here. Sabi niya dito, Marie Curie decided to find out if the radioactivity discovered in uranium was found in other elements. She discovered that it was true for thorium. So what's the answer? Thorium. Alam namang uranium yan. It's not going to be uranium because it was already mentioned here in the sentence. So previewing questions is very important. Okay. Number 13, we're looking for the name of a mineral. Okay, number 14, we're looking for the name of an element. I'm looking for stuff here. Ito. Number 15, Marie and Irene Curie developed X-radiography, which was used as a medical technique for blank. So when they use for, what does it imply? Okay, it means usually the receiver of something. So for whom? Okay, for whom was this developed? Okay, so we're looking for maybe a group of people or a country or an institution or a person. Okay, so very important that you preview these questions and then take a look at the grammar because sometimes there are clues. Not so much for this one. Okay, let's continue. How about this? Matching paragraph headings. Okay, this is good. Okay, the physics of traffic behavior. So first, take a look at the list of headings. Now, don't read the text on the left because it's going to be a waste of time. You don't even know what you're looking for. Read the options first. So how many headings do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Heading, the first heading, how a maths experiment actually reduced traffic congestion. Next, how a concept from one field of study was applied in another. A lack of investment in driver training. Fourth option, areas of doubt and disagreement between experts. Fifth option, how different countries have dealt with traffic congestion. Sixth option, the impact of driver behavior on traffic speed. And the last option, a proposal to take control away from the driver. Let's skip the first one kasi haba. I want to look for shorter paragraphs. Okay, let's work on 19, 20, and 21. Number 19 muna. Okay, guys, I'm gonna give you a minute to answer. Number 19 only. Never mind 20 and 21. Mamaya na po. Okay? So, guys, 1 minute. Type your answer in the chat box. Just type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So number 19. What's your answer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7? Okay, John is saying it's number 7. Okay, let's have a quick read of it. So the physicists have challenged proposals to set a maximum capacity for vehicles on highways. They argue it may not be enough to simply to limit the rate at which vehicles are allowed to enter highway. Rather, it may be necessary to time each vehicle's entry onto the highway to coincide, precisely to coincide with the temporary drop in density of vehicles along the road. Wow, traffic. Okay, that's so boring. The aim of this would be to smooth out any possible fluctuations in the road conditions that can trigger a change in traffic behavior and result in congestion. They suggest, that preventing breakdowns in the flow of traffic could ultimately require implementing the radical idea that has been suggested from time to time. Ano yun? What's that idea? Directly regulating the speed and spacing of cars, of individual cars along a highway with central computers and sensors that communicate with each car's engine and brake controls. Wow, high tech. Okay. Answers, some are saying 6. Okay, some are saying 7, meron ding 1. I'm gonna teach you how to check. Okay, let's start with 1 since it's 1. Okay, if you say 1, ano ba to? How a maths experiment actually reduced traffic congestion. So, pinili nyo itong 1, a maths experiment. Where is that maths experiment mentioned here? Do you see a synonym for experiment? Okay, and did it, was there any traffic that's been reduced? Saan? So if you cannot find those details, then maybe it's not the best answer. Again, please do not base your answers on your impression na parang ganito yung sinasabi. I think it's like this. No, don't base it on what you think or how you feel about it. You base it on the words because this is a reading test. You base it on paraphrasing. I don't think 1 is a good option because I don't see any math experiment here. Meron ba? No, not really. Okay. How about number 6? The impact of driver behavior on traffic speed. Okay, I'm looking for driver. Driver. I don't see the word driver or any synonyms for it. Motorists would be another one. So again, I don't think it's a good option. The correct answer is number, okay, some people are saying 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Areas of doubt and disagreement between experts. Okay, if you say areas of doubt and disagreement, there should be like 2 or 3 people saying, different things. So how many people are giving their opinion in paragraph 19? Do you see 2 people? So who are these people and what are they saying? And do you see any synonyms for doubt or disagreement? Kasi yun ang importante, synonyms. Correct answer is number 7. Okay, so congratulations, Jong. Tama ka. A proposal to take away control from the driver. But what's the basis? Ito po yung basis niya. Okay? A proposal. Okay. A proposal is a suggestion to take control away from the driver. So kung hindi yung driver yung magdadrive, okay, who's gonna be in control? It's gonna be the central computers and sensors, so it's gonna be a computer, parang CPU instead of a person. Okay, and this computer will take care of the engine and of the brake control. So that's the correct answer. Why? Kasi meron paraphrasing. Oh, majority of our FB viewers answered 7. Congratulations. Very good. We have time for one. Sige, time for one more. We have time. Sige, number 20. So I'm gonna give you a minute. Please answer number 20. So wala na tong 7, but let's remove that. So now you only have 6 options. Sige. So this should be easy. Okay, it's so obvious. So take a look at your screens. So take a look at my drawings now. So doubt and disagreement. When you doubt and when you disagree, you question. Okay, and then who are these experts? You have engineers, and you also have the physicists. Okay, so they don't agree. They question each other's work. So correct answer is this one, number 4, areas of doubt and disagreement between experts. So what I do with matching paragraph headings is I actually do the reverse, because most people, they take a look at the paragraph and then they choose from the headings. Ako baliktad. Sometimes it's easier to just take a look at one of those options, kunwari option number 1, and then you match it with a specific paragraph. So it can work both ways. So what you need to do is experiment to find out which one is better for you. Okay? Now, the good thing about our program is, if you're having a hard time with reading, you can just tell the teacher that, for tomorrow's session, can you just teach me about reading? Okay, most of our students kasi they request for speaking or writing, pero if you're weak in reading or listening, you can also use your tutorial time for that one. Okay, so I wish we had more time, but it's almost 11 now. So let me finish my presentation. All right. So plugging ng konti, why choose World English? Okay, because usually a self-review isn't enough for higher levels. You can probably get to a 6.5 on your own, but some people will have a hard time getting 7 with no guidance from a competent, tutor. So we're here to offer that to you. You have access to obviously excellent teachers. Okay, we are only a small company, but we are highly trusted. In fact, awarding ng IDP kanina, and I was surprised, we received awards for, for Bulacan, okay, and for Central Luzon also. Like number 1, I don't know how we do it, pero Ma'am Cha, I think we received an award for Cabanatuan and Tarlac, di ba? Am I right? Type mo na lang sa chat box kung nakikinig ka. We don't use a factory approach. Okay? We adjust our teaching depending on the student. And in fact, what we're proud of, what we focus on is the one-on-one tutorials. We do have group lectures, we do have videos, okay? But for us, the priority is the one-on-one. Okay, yes, all right. What else? We will provide you with daily guidance because we have a private Facebook page where you can ask questions, and then that's where we post our videos and our samples. And we're very flexible. We can teach you anytime that you like. You don't need to be in the Philippines. You can be abroad. We can still teach you. Okay? And we don't offer you any magic. We don't offer you like leakage or how to cheat, or we know people in IDP or British Council. No, it's just learning. Okay, and our latest awards, we were awarded as top 3 nationwide, and I was surprised because I don't know how we got that. Apparently, we did well, 2021, and top 1 in our province where our office is, despite having a lot of competitors in this place. The biggest review centers, they have offices like 1 or 2 kilometers away from us. We still managed to win over them, thankfully. Okay, salamat sa Diyos. Okay, so if you would like more free information, we have an Ielts orientation on November 28th. Okay, that's a Sunday, 9:30 a.m. to 12 noon. And we have a guest from British Council. Okay, and we also have a free OET information session. That's also on Sunday, 6:30 to 9 p.m. And we will have a special guest from the provider of the test, ACE Testing Hub. So it's not just us teachers. We actually have, people who conduct the test. So British Council and ACE Testing Hub. So you can ask questions from them directly. If you want to join our events, ayan po, you can scan this QR code, or we will also post the link on the IFNG page. Okay, it's also there, but if you take a look at your chat box, you can already register. Ayan po, just click on it. And enroll in our online IELTS or OET review, get a 500 peso discount until November 21. Just mention it to the manager that you heard about it. This is our official OET page and this is our official IELTS page. Type nyo lang po, World English IELTS OET. Thank you for supporting our free class. If you have questions, ask them now or forever hold your peace. Okay, so Sir Manny and the rest of the team, thank you for having us again. Okay, marami pong salamat. I hope you learned a bit, even though our time was limited. I wish we had more time so I could discuss more of the subtests sana. Maybe next time. Okay, maraming salamat and I give you the floor, Sir Manny. Balik ko na.
Hello, sir. A good evening, I think, there in the Philippines. And yeah, I think this was a very informative lecture. Actually, sir, when I was taking the IELTS exam, I always look at the World English lectures for the reading portion. So it helped me a lot when I was answering some of my questions. Yeah. So yeah, thankfully you were there and I was guided by your review center and free lectures. And I have one question before we end the lecture. Okay. I have a friend who has taken the exam 7 times and she failed 7 times as well. What advice would you give to her?
7 times? She failed which subtest?
Speaking and reading.
Sorry, can you repeat that? Speaking and reading?
Yes. She got band 5.
In what?
In both.
In both.
The reading portion, she got a 6 on her second try, but it went downhill after that.
You know, so I wish I could
what advice?
Okay, ganito lang yan eh. Okay, how much effort did she put into it? Okay? Kasi a lot of candidates think na, ginagawa ko na lahat. I'm doing everything that I can. But, after asking them just a few questions, after a few minutes, they would realize that they're actually not doing everything that they can. First of all, how many hours in the past week, how many hours did you allocate for your review? Sir, maybe. No, there's no maybe. You have to be able to say 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours.
Okay.
Kasi, you really want to learn, you put it down on paper. I mean, it's a very powerful tool, scheduling it. Okay? Get a calendar, a paper calendar, an electronic calendar, and then you plan what you do. If you didn't do anything, I record mo, today I did not do anything to improve my IELTS score because it will serve as motivation. A lot of people fail just because they're not putting enough time into the effort. So I don't know your friend personally, pero isipin lang niya, how many hours did she work on reading? How many hours did she work on speaking? Because if you're only practicing speaking once a week, do you think you're gonna improve to from a band 5 to a band 7 in a month? So kung once a week lang yan, you only practice like 4 times. I have Korean students. We practice at least 3 times a week, some of them 5 times a week, 1 hour per session. So I have like MWF. Yung iba naman, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 1 hour each day. And then they do it for 6 weeks before they actually take the test. Okay? If she only practiced like 2 or 3 times before she took the test, do you think that's enough? Siyempre hindi. Okay? Put work into it. Parang nursing lang yan.
All right. Okay, so friend, alam ko nakikinig ka. I'm not gonna say your name.
No, don't
Makinig ka kay sir. Makinig ka kay sir, ha? Makinig ka kay sir, friend. Oh, ayan na. But anyway, sir.
Report lang yan. Minsan nakala niyo report kayo, pero sa totoo lang, hindi pala.
Oh, ayan, friend, ha?
I know some people will be put off by that, na ma-frustrate. Pero totoo naman eh. Spend 5 minutes with me. I'll make you realize and I'll even help you plan out how you can make time for it. Kasi for me, I don't like just teaching IELTS. I like teaching study skills. management skills. Yan yung gusto kong, maybe that's an additional service that you can get from us. Hindi lang IELTS review, pati yung study skills ninyo, tutulungan namin kayo.
Okay, so with that, we're going to close our lecture for today. And thank you so much on behalf of IFNG and our members who have attended today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Have a good dinner.
Have a good dinner as well, sir. And I love the ponytail at the back.
So what?
I know, I thought it was a ponytail. Is that your, oh, that one. I love the ponytail.
Oh, really?
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye, sir. I hope to see you
Bye-bye.
next week. Bye. Bye, everybody.